Yeah, new maps just dropped, and it's time for me to give you your opinion. No, but really. New maps just dropped. I got the chance to play it in pubs, so in a 3 setting, and I also got to play it in 4s with people like Bill Physics, Lunars, and Drewski. All thanks to Tony's Labs. I'll probably provide like a link in the description and stuff. I also recommend joining my Discord as well. Occasionally I will host like scrims, aka like an organized way to actually play these maps this weekend. Maybe, maybe not. Also leave a link in the description too. Because there's no trials. Why would you want to play trials to learn the map? Why? Okay. I'm being too whiny. Anyway, I'm here to give my first impressions on the new maps. Are they Javelin tier, or are they actually worth your time? Things like that. All the gameplay today was recorded live on my Twitch, link in the description below. So with the limited time I did get to play the maps, I can pretty fairly confidently say that Bungie cooked. I actually don't hate the maps, and while I do have my frustrations about them, it's not enough for me to want to return to orbit instantly, like this junction, or where I feel like I'm fighting the map more than where I'm actually fighting players, like something like multiplex. Now, starting things off with Dissonance, the new pyramid map, I thought going in I'd like it the least, but by the end of it I found myself liking it the most. Getting my biggest complaints out of the way, it's a big map. Not to the point you need a sparrow, but it's pretty big. And without like a centralized objective, like a zone, it's really not hard to stop the map or lead people on Wild Goose Chase. From the time that I did play Clash, I found myself hating the map because unless we were forcing each other to fight, you can choose to not take fights, is the best way to put it. But all of that out of the way though, this map has plenty of angles, cover. There were a few times where I did slide a gunfight and it was immediately dead to bad positioning, but for the most part I felt pretty confident to take fights, slide into cover, and repeat. There's plenty of flank routes, opportunities to make plays, and you're not forced to hold the same 2 angles when you spawn. Especially when there is an OBJ on the field, I did find this map to play insanely well. Cirrus Plaza. Going in, I really thought I'd like this map. And while a part of me definitely does, a part of me just does not. It's very cluttered. There's a bunch of right angles, especially where B is, and the top area overseeing heavy is either a kill or get killed situation. I definitely felt limited in the angles I could take simply just because of how this map is built. And when I did get into non-geometric shaped fights, it actually did play pretty decent all things considered. You know, the spawn you can rush to B, immediately go on a flank, or fight people head on by crossing the bridge or surprisingly jumping on it. I was really surprised by the verticality, and also the fact that there was no collision or ghost barriers, and it did help my experience a bit more. I do think this map will end up growing on me with time, and just more chances to actually play in different settings, but compared to everything else I did play, it felt a lot more lackluster. Last but not least, Eventide Labs or Thieves' Den. It's not really like Thieves' Den besides spawns in the B area a little bit. But anyway, this map is wide. Especially outside, but it is wide. And I would say almost all the maps favor mid-range engagements the most. Like a 140 hand cannon or something like a pulse. And this map isn't too different. But I found myself feeling like I had to use a 120, especially when I did take those fights outside. And once again, like, I want to say that I think something like Dissonance suffers from being too big to the point you need an OBJ. Eventide Labs isn't too bad in that regard. There's definitely some clutter at spawn, and if you do play it right, you're effectively unkillable. But beyond that, that's fine. I think this map might play better in 6s than what it does in 3s, whether it's a Clash or something like Control. All things considered though, I think these maps have earned their spot in B tier. with plenty of room to go up or down as more people learn the ins and outs. I definitely think my opinion will change once we get to play these maps in Trials and Comp for sure. Now for the more competitive people, I don't think they're Javelin tier. I don't see people screaming callouts or a $100 split between 3 people on these maps. Besides Eventide and maybe Dissonance. This isn't to say they're bad at all, they're really not. But where maps like Javelin, Dead Cliffs, Endless, and Burnout all play pretty well, whether it's 3s, 4s, or 6s, these maps lack the same flexibility. I could be completely wrong though, it's probably too early to tell, but that's how I feel about them now. Thank you for watching though. I'll be on vacation next week, so I won't get a chance to play Trials, see how the maps actually play, but it's Trials, so I probably wasn't going to play anyway. That being said, I'll see you guys next time. If you have any video ideas, let me know in the comments below.